Hey everyone, Chris from Canfield's Garage here to show you a little more on the Nissan 350Z from last week's video. Now this is the $1,000 350Z that I was shown giving a quick little rinse off to. Ultimately I just wanted to see the overall condition of the paint, see if it needed anything, see really what I was working with. When I talked about buying this car, I got it from a coworker. This car has been sitting for over a year that I know of. And I didn't really know what I was getting into. He showed me some photos of it, he told me what it needed, and I just said, yeah, I'll take it. $1,000? Sure. In 2023, that sounded like a fantastic deal. Hell, even in a normal market, it sounded like a fair deal, especially for someone who is wanting a project car, who is okay with the problems. And I wanted to kind of show you guys more of that. So why don't we start with the exterior, and you can see some of my least favorite things on it and some of my favorite things. Now, starting with the exterior of the vehicle here, you can already see probably my most favorite thing and my least favorite thing on this vehicle. My number one favorite thing is gonna be this two-tone paint job on it. I'm not a fan of two-tone paint jobs at all, but the black just sitting perfectly on top of this beautiful deep blue, oh my God, that just like hit deep with me. I had to have this car as soon as I saw that. And I do not like two-tone paint jobs. But the photo I saw of this car didn't quite show my overall least favorite thing. And that's this front bumper. My coworker had told me someone had backed into him at some point and the bumper got a little bit of damage. I assumed he was talking about, maybe just one of these things, but not this totally cracked piece across here, this missing piece here, this broken piece here. I mean, hell, the whole thing's holding in just by one zip tie. But that's okay, because this is gonna be a drift car for me. So I don't really care about the bumper. I'll probably be like most Z owners and just drive without a bumper, because it doesn't matter to me. It's a project car, it's a toy. That's my main car, that's my fun car, and that's how it'll be. But on the front here, you can see that bumper's one thing. The hood's another thing because it doesn't quite close right. And it's actually eating itself right there. So that's a problem for another day. Now you see under the engine bay here, the intake needs a little bit of work. All these pieces over here are missing and have been missing for who knows how long. So I do have all those pieces. They're in the hatch of the car. But again, it's been sitting for a year and I don't quite know what to expect when I get it running. Now moving over to this side, not a whole lot going on. We've got the mismatched wheels. Okay, that's one thing. Looks fine. And then we come down here and we see, we don't really know what's going on there. In fact, I don't really know what's going on with anything back here. I mean, I guess this is like a package storage, or I don't know, I can put my briefcase or hide all my money in there that I steal, or drugs. I mean, that'd be a good one. But overall, even the exterior is in pretty good condition for a $1,000 vehicle. And those of you with a keen eye may have noticed the mismatched door handles. You can see one actually has the body painted door handle and one has the silver. And honestly, I kind of like the silver, so I'll probably replace the passenger side with the silver one. So that wraps up the outside of the vehicle for now. So why don't we go ahead and move to the inside, take a further look at the main problem with this vehicle and why it's not running, as well as just the overall condition of the inside to kind of figure out if the deal I got was even worth it. Moving into the inside of the vehicle now, we're greeted with quite a few things right off the bat. One, the missing steering wheel. That was actually me. The steering wheel is inside the house right now. I just popped it off because I have trust issues. But you can see there's the manual transmission. Love that. Haven't had a manual in a long time. But the other thing is, there's these weird, just god-awful carbon fiber stick-on pieces just everywhere. And when I say everywhere, I mean it is just everywhere. Hell, I actually broke one of the parcel boxes just trying to remove some of the carbon fiber. The other thing that some of you might have noticed, these aren't Sparco seats. I'm not sure what he was thinking. I guess he just wanted to seem cool by having the Sparco logo on there. He kind of told me, he laughed about it. I think it's kind of funny. I also think ultimately it's really dumb. But moving down, you can see there were some wires hanging out. This was actually from the sub he had installed. I went to pull them out, and it's gonna make me sound really dumb, but I guess I was pulling a little too hard and it actually just ripped right through the carpet here. So I guess I'll need to get some new carpet. No big deal, don't really care about it ultimately. But the only wires I had anything to do with was this kind of brown wire and black wire. He's got kind of a weird rat's nest going on down here. Some things are unplugged, some things are just disconnected, some things are just cut off. So I'll have to get a wiring diagram and figure out what's going on down there. Now, getting a car in this kind of condition, it was expected, honestly. I had hopes it would be a little bit better. I had hopes that what he had told me, that the one thing it needed to get running was the one thing it needed. And part of that's my fault. He had told me that it probably needed a couple other things, but in order to get it running, it only needed this one thing. And I'll get more into what that is in just a minute, but I kind of want to just take this minute to just say, you know, for $1,000, I'm not complaining, especially for what I have planned for this car. It's overall meeting my expectations. Now, would I have loved to get in better condition? Yes, absolutely. Anyone who buys a used car would have loved to get it in a better condition or a better state than what they had bought it in. That's just silly. But set your expectations and just be reasonable. It's $1,000, it's gonna have problems. Has a cracked windshield, it's Mississippi, all vehicles have cracked windshields. The interior's a little messed up, it's a 350Z. Anyone who owned it before was probably tinkering with it and broke it at any point in time, messed with it at any point in time. It's gonna need replaced, it's gonna need work, and that's okay. But getting into the one major thing that it needs to get running, that's an ECU. It needs the computer for the car. It's died, it's spent time with Nissan, it was determined that the ECU was fried. Now, I'd actually spent, I think it was only $25. I sent it off to a company called SIA based out of Illinois, I think. They had a pretty quick turnaround time, all things expected. And they had told me that the CPU was fried and there was nothing they could do about it. No big deal, a little heartbreaking, but again, it's what I expected. Car spent time with Nissan, they were told the ECU was dead. The ECU's dead. Ultimately, I'll probably get a aftermarket ECU and replace it with that, just because I do want to build this into a drift car, and I don't want to have any traditional limitations. I want to have freedom to tune it however I want, possibly do a 2-step, 3-step, whatever. But I got to balance it, because a normal ECU for this car goes between $400 to $600. Aftermarket ones are well over $1,000. So I haven't fully decided how far I want to push this car. I still have thought about possibly 2JZ swapping it down the road. I've thought about putting a Coyote in my pickup, so I don't really know what's to come of this car. But I'm going to document its journey and ultimately my journey with cars, because again, this is my first project car, so I'm really excited about it, and I want to kind of put it out there what I'm doing to it. I want to feel, well, I personally feel like I'm going to build something unique, and I want to show people the vehicle I build. I think it'll be a cool journey, and I hope you all stick around to see it. With all that being said, though, I want to wrap up just a couple more things on it, and hopefully be able to show you more about this vehicle in the near future. At some point, I need to come in here and give the interior a good cleaning, and just really really kind of see what condition the inside's in. I saw what the outside was in. The paint's, I'm not gonna say immaculate, but really surprising, especially considering it sat as long as it did. So no paint jobs needed in the near future. I might wrap it though. We'll see. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, maybe in a couple weeks we'll touch on the interior more. Really go over the nitty gritty on what's needed, what I don't have, what I do have, what I need, and see the overall condition of it. Like I said, so let's head back outside the vehicle and take a look at a couple last things, and we'll get out of here. All right, now that we're back outside the vehicle, just wanted to touch on a few last things. Now, I commented on it earlier. It has the mismatched wheels. So if anyone knows of any Z wheels, Z factory wheels, I am interested in them. Now, when I bought it, he had told me these wheels were included with it. Now, he is a buddy of mine. So when he contacted me and told me that these wheels are actually being borrowed from someone he knows and that person wants them back, I ultimately said, no problem, let me get you those wheels back. But he had told me they were included with the vehicle, so I am a little upset that I have to give them up, especially because it gives it just that little bit of clearance on the front that it needs to get out of my yard. It's kind of, you can't really tell from here. We'll kind of walk up there and take a look. Don't judge my yard. The Z was parked right there. And so when we pulled in, we went through here and ended up tearing the yard up, driving my wife's car and my pickup through here. But coming up here, you can see it's not the most steep thing in the world, but it is just, it's a little bumpy and it comes down. So when we actually pulled the car down in here with my pickup, because again, it wasn't running, you all didn't have a trailer, yada, 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 it actually scraped the rear end. So I do want to keep these front wheels so that I have a little bit of lift on the front. But he gave me the matching front wheels, so I have those. I can swap those on. But again, if anyone knows anyone who has a set of factory Z wheels, please let me know. I am interested in them. But that's all I wanted to touch on for today. I hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys will follow for more, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye. Look at these little dogs just staring and watching me all the time. Hey, Sarge.